everyone. We are here with Chris Masten from the West Coast Eagles, fresh off a trip down south. What do we speak about, Masto?
What did we speak about?
He was just lying down the whole time.
We spoke about ADD and the wine and stuff.
Yeah. Bit of wine stuff, bit of footy, bit of shit talk.
Yeah.
It was very wholesome, actually.
Oh, it was lovely. I had a good time. Apologies for anyone who might be watching in advance. Just watch out for the YouTube because I'm switching myself. But any sponsors?
Lucky Duck Racing.
Lucky Duck Racing, if you want to get involved
in a horse, hit us up. Otherwise, we're sponsored this week by Chris Maston and all of his wine knowledge.
So off the vine.
Off the vine. There we go.
Off the vine.
Off the vine.
Okay, cool.
All right, let's get hard.
Let's get hard.
Welcome to Hard Yarns Podcast.
I am fucking fat.
Anything Chris White says, please disregard it.
5D is actually a state of being. It's a unity consciousness.
That was Hard Yarns with me, Frankie Rose. So I'm going to throw it over to your co-host,
Daniel Jelby.
And Cameron Brand.
I would do this and then I'd gong.
Free in attendance for the millions listening at home. Let's get hard.
Sick.
Cool.
All right, whenever you want, Del.
Yeah, cool. So, fresh from a trip down south, we are here with Masto. What were you doing down there, bro? And what's been happening?
Hey, boys, thanks for having me. Yeah, down south just for a bit of a day trip up and, day and a half. For work, I'm in the wine industry, so we have a couple new wineries came on, so we went down and saw them.
Yeah.
Talk shit, drink a little bit of their wine, their produce.
Fuck, tough life, man.
It's rough, mate.
Yeah. So.
The lifestyles are hard, mate, because you just drink all day. It's literally my job. Well, you're not drinking, you spit in the wine, mate.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to.
Yeah. Have you had to do your sommelier's course or some shit?
Yeah. Don't,
actually?
Yeah. Oh, well, like different. Like you do it. I'm doing it for more education.
Yeah.
Because I'm dealing with those people all day, every day.
Yeah. But, what are those people? Wankers?
Some of them are. Mate. It's like any industry, I suppose. There's a few dicks, but most of them are pretty good, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to start with a couple of qualms.
Yep.
So I had state records in athletics.
Yep.
You came and broke them, you arsehole.
Dirty dog.
I don't know. I can't remember which ones it was. It might have been a 400 or 800. Or you're pretty good. You used to run against me, brother. And second of all, my biggest qualm.
You got the finger out.
My biggest qualm.
Jesus.
Actually, not my biggest qualm. The biggest. Andrew Strike, former teammate, wants to know if you're the one who came up with the nickname Korean.
Nothing to do with me at all.
What, like call him Korean?
I don't know what you're talking about.
His nickname was Korean.
I can see why.
Korean Jesus. He looks like Korean.
He loves his foe, that man.
Big
horse.
Yeah, no.
How are you, Strikey? Hope you're listening, mate.
The big horse dick.
Whack.
It's funny, like when he got recruited, he took up 2 spots on the list. It was just one for Strike and one for his cock.
Yeah, we needed a spare locker next to him. Mate.
I heard Louis Broom was just Nick Nat's dick anyway, so.
Pretty much.
Fuck, mate. So, well, what was your state records? You were a good runner. I think everyone knows that.
I had a few 400 and 800 and 1500 as well.
Fuck.
1 year, and then the next year just the 4 and the 8. No, then the 8 and the 15.
So state records.
State, and I had one Australian.
One Australian record. Is it still holding or?
Don't know. Haven't checked.
Fuck.
It was like under 14s or something, 800 metres.
Certainly he doesn't care, but I cared.
I cared at the time. I fucking cared a lot at the time.
Yeah, right. Were you like training to be a footy player or a runner?
I pretty much purely did athletics or running to get better at footy.
Yeah, right.
I was pretty like psycho focused when I was a kid.
Yeah, that's interesting after our chat about ADHD.
It's
psycho focused.
It's weird you get obsessed with something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hated running. Like I still do.
Yeah.
I despise it. It's the most lonely, painful place you can be.
Yeah.
But I needed to get better at it. At my height, I needed to be really good at something.
Yeah. That's nuts, bro. Because I would have thought you frothed it because you're known as the runner.
Yeah.
Like you were known as the fucking runner.
I hate it.
Wow.
I really hated it. But like it was like the competitive thing was like switched on. I needed to be good at this, so I'm going to be good at it.
Yeah.
Sort of willed myself to do it.
That's pretty incredible.
Even like every day, like the only time only reason I trained in the off season, like you have to train in the off season.
Yeah.
But like the only reason I trained
Yeah.
was so I didn't lose that 2K time trial when I came back.
Wow.
I fucking hated losing.
The only reason I trained is so I'd look good. Beach season.
I still never looked good.
Yeah, but you were pretty elite when it came to the running, and I vaguely remember you were running. I remember using your time that was set for a 2K as my like what I wanted to try and get to, and I think it was like 5:56 or something. I can't recall what you did at the Eagles, and then I was like, "Fuck, I need to get it," and I couldn't ever get it. I got it like 5:59 once. And,
That's good going though. How much does that hurt? It's
mate,
the worst.
ridiculous. And now I'm doing the. And you will hate this, but a 100-kilometre marathon for charity in 3 weeks.
It's cool that you could. I don't know how people do.
He did 80 like last year with no training, or the year before.
That's stupid.
It was. It was
definitely stupid.
Fucking stupid. But I guess the thing with the training that I'm doing now, I've been training too much and overloaded a few things sciatica, and now I've got this calf problem. 3 weeks out, and I'm like, fuck, like. I can't.
The old man injury.
I can't have a problem now.
Yeah,
like
calf injury as well when you're trying to run 100K.
So I was getting sciatica. I was getting sciatica on the left side, and so I think I've put a bit too much pressure on the right.
Yeah.
That's no good, man. Like that's just you go to some dark places in your brain when you're doing that shit.
Yeah.
It's not for me.
What? That's so interesting to hear, bro. Like, so at 14 or 13, you're set on playing AFL, or you were just like
I mean, probably set in my mind, but it was more so like just desire to be as good as I could possibly be. And I believe that if I was going to get to AFL, I needed to be really fucking good.
And you were a good runner, or you just forced yourself to be?
I wasn't really. It kind of started at primary school. My best mate, who's still my best mate, we went to kindy together and grew up. And at primary school, he beat me every year in like every race.
Wow.
And then we go to inter-school. And we'd beat everyone, but he'd still beat me.
How unlucky, man.
And then that was like year 7. It was like our last year, and he was going to Aquinas, so I was going elsewhere. So, and my old man said something to me like, "Why do you keep letting him beat you all the time?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You let him beat you." I was like, "Fuck you, Dad." And then I just started training, and then I got an athletics coach, Vic Nolan, who's passed away now, but he's trained a shitload of really good athletes. And actually, a lot of them now AFL boundary umpires still to this day. And I train every single day to the point where I'd be spewing pretty much most training sessions.
Yeah, especially those 400.
All the lactic shit.
Yeah,
is the worst.
200, 400, 800. There's a 1500. They're the worst. Like sprints, like hundreds, obviously, like there as well. But
yes, I never had the speed, but I had like the grit in the head, I suppose. But
that's nuts, man. Because like you initially started training to beat your mate,
pretty much, and then it was like, then I won a couple state titles, and then it was like, oh, I can be good at this, and then competitive instinct like kicked in. It was like, I'm going to be the psycho at this.
Yeah.
And then I trained really hard, and then got glandular fever because I was training too much. Fucked myself up for like 12 months.
How old?
Probably 13.
Fuck.
It was.
That's with you like forever, hey?
I think so. I don't know, but it's like something that I wouldn't want my kids doing. It seems actually, you look back and it's like it's a bit psycho.
Athletics training is like it's ridiculous, and the parents, what they put in on athletics days, like it's 7 o'clock in the morning till like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and actually that's when it starts at 7. So you're there at 6, helping set up if you're one of the involved parents. And
my parents were great though. They dropped me off at 6:45 and probably not go.
Just bail.
Pick me up at 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Who were you trained to? Because I was through Kingsway. Who were you through?
Southern Districts.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was
Riverton Athletics Club, and then Southern Districts out at Coca Park near Carousel there.
Yeah, Coca Park, fuck.
Rough as guts.
I remember that. Yeah, that
was that black?
It
was so old, it was black. So in the middle of summer, it was 40 degrees. The track would be like 60 degrees.
Yeah,
you just burn your feet.
Fuck that. Yeah, I was at Balladura, but I hated athletics, man. Like I liked it. I was good at it. Similar to you and your mate, I was always come second to this bloke. But I just hated the individuality of it and like
the pressure.
It's lonely.
Yeah, really lonely, and kind of I hated the training, and I liked showing up on the Saturday and doing it, but it was like,
well, it's so good for footy. I found athletics training is so good for footy, but footy's fucked for athletics.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, my dad was like, "Oh, your running technique is so shit now. You play footy." It's a different game, man.
That's the whole point.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, though. Like with athletics, you're by yourself. You're hurting yourself all the time. Like I've never felt nervous in one game ever of football ever. But any running race, any 2K, like can't even stand almost. Like so
because you've only got yourself to blame.
And you
can't be like, oh, the other 18, the other 19, 20, 21 blokes, they fucking let me down. If there was 21 of me, we would have won.
If I was to be honest, that's why I stopped athletics as well. Same reason, the nerves.
It's that, like, you've only got yourself, but then it's also, like, for me, it was, I know what I'm going to do if I, like I'm going to know how much pain I'm going to put myself in to win.
Yeah.
That was, if I didn't win, it was like, catch later, I'm going home trying to cut my wrists.
So nice, healthy.
Yeah, really healthy,
Yeah. Because Shep, we had him on a couple of months ago or something like that, and he was saying you were probably the most selfless player on that team, considering your role. Yeah. And it was running, so something you hate.
It was different when you're doing it for the boys. Like, you love that. I love that shit.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I probably wasn't a selfless player for a long time until probably the last 4 or 5 years of my career and got given this role.
Yeah.
And then, it was just literally run away from the ball pretty much, open up space.
That's so crazy, hey?
Yeah.
But
and
at least you're doing the running with a team.
Yeah, you're doing it for a point. You're doing it for the boys. So
there is something to it. When you're doing it for other people, you feel like you're motivated to do it. But when it's for yourself, you're like, fuck it.
So what was that shift, bro? Because you've come in like, what pick were you? 3? Pick 3. And then obviously, like, things weren't turning out the way I guess you would have hoped, because when you get drafted, you want to get the footy.
Yeah.
Right? Well, you used to get heaps of the ball, but then there was a shift at one point in your career where you've become that selfless team role. How do you take that mentally, knowing that you want to go and get the footy, and now you've got this role where it's almost to not get the footy? Hutch told me that if you're on the wing, one of them is just to run away from the footy, and the other one's to get it. So when I was betting on footy, I'm looking at who the Eagles' wings are, and I just stayed away from them.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, it was probably you get drafted, and especially I got drafted pretty high. I was a very confident kid.
Yeah.
I'd done a lot of work to get to where I was, and it was like I want to be the man. And then you realise pretty quickly you're not.
Yeah.
And then it was pretty much Simo came in, and I was getting a bit of the ball. It wasn't really doing much though. I wasn't like being effective really, probably. And then Simo came.
Tom Mitchell.
Yeah, well, kind of. Doing fuck all with it.
Yeah.
You know what it is.
Yeah.
And then Simo sort of came and changed me up, and then it was like, whatever. That's going to be my role. This is how we're going to win.
Yeah.
So all right, I'll fucking do it, and I'll do it better than everyone else.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a great mentality.
Yeah.
So obviously your peak moment is your grand final.
Yeah, probably.
Surely not. Surely it's playing against Branchy.
Well, maybe some off seasons could be a bit bigger.
Yeah.
But talking about the grand final, so for the listeners, I met Masto hosting Campfield grand final day the other week.
Great game.
Easiest day. Good game for my bets. But yeah.
Almost a very good day.
Almost a very good day. But it was like, it's funny because I always get anyone, I told them I'm hosting with Masto, everyone's like, oh, Masto's a loose unit. He's a loose unit. And it was good, man, because I feel like I've met somebody that matches my ADHD mentality.
Yeah. So. I don't feel like I'm that loose, man. Like, I honestly don't. I feel I'm pretty normal, really.
Yeah.
Like,
that's how I feel. Yeah. And people are like, oh, man, are you fucking drunk? Are you off chops? I'm like, I'm sober, man.
That's literally how I feel all the time. I was like, mate, I'm fine. I'm good.
Surely you're considered loose compared to the media training version that we see of every player.
Yeah,
so they're just like, this player's loose, but they're not. They're just a normal. They're just one of the lads.
Another dude. Yeah. I hated that, trying to pretend to be someone you're not and trying to calm yourself down. It's like, it's not for me.
Yeah, because we were talking about how I've got ADHD, and then you mentioned that you have had it, but when you play, you're not allowed to be medicated for it.
Yeah.
What was that like? Did they just not put you in front of the media? Were they like, oh, no.
Not allowed to be medicated for, it's like an illegal substance for that.
It's amphetamine, basically.
Amphetamine,
yeah. Well, I was controlled a fair bit
in
in front of the media. I'd still let some shit slip sometimes. I was on radio. I was on Nova for like 9 years in a row, but that was great because we didn't talk footy really. Ask me like one footy question, I'd give him fuck all, and we just talk shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone knew at the footy club. It was the doctor first year pretty much. Rod Moore sort of said, you got AD. I was like, no shit. But we can't do anything. So I just sort of had to deal with it. And when you're training all day, it's all right. You're burning a lot of energy.
Yeah.
But like I've said it a few times before, but like in
like
team
a border
meetings.
collie.
Yeah. In team meetings, especially longer ones, I sat at the front, but I didn't really sit. They let me lay on the floor because if I'd sat in the chair, I'm sitting next to everyone, I'm fucking around.
Yeah.
Like losing train of thought constantly. So I just lay on the floor.
You were literally the naughty kid at West Coast Eagles. Sit down.
Not even naughty, just like the one that can't concentrate.
Yeah.
So you're like meditating.
I just like lay on the floor and like it didn't all go in, and I kind of knew it. You were there around for long enough, like zone out. They'd just let me be.
That's wicked.
Which was good because first few years wasn't like that. I was just pissing everyone off.
They're starting to do that in education systems, like that. Some kids don't respond to sit down, don't move your hands, stay silent. Like you've got to.
It's fucking impossible.
Yeah.
Watch my clips. I'm always I'm like fucking Rain Man.
Same, mate.
But all these people, like their kids, like they're starting to realise it, and they're telling their teachers, hey, like don't just teach them the same as every other kid. Like, hey, you're going to have to treat them differently.
Fuck me, the teachers need to be paid more, man.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, don't do it this way. You got 30 kids and 30 different ways of teaching. Then you should be paid 30 times what the fucking one method you taught is.
Yeah.
But so how do you like? I wanted to talk about that because a lot of our listeners, when we had, I can't remember who it was on, but we were talking about having ADHD and how our brains work. They took so much away from it. So, like, how
Mitch
did
Johnson,
you?
I think. From memory.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we had Mitch
Johnson,
Johnson on because he got diagnosed, I think, later in life. And talking about this has helped so many of our predominantly male, 86% young male listeners. So,
facts.
Yeah. Was there any strategy you used other than like lying down, or is there anything that you've done differently to help you? Or was it like a relief being told, what, as an adult you got diagnosed by your club doctor?
18, really, but not medicated until 31.
That's nuts, man. How different did you find it, being able to be medicated?
Yeah, like it's really good for work and stuff. Like especially emailing. Like before, I have to do a lot of that now. And before I was medicated, like it would take me like an hour to do one because I'd be rereading. Like nothing sinks in properly.
Yeah,
you're fucking all over the place.
Yeah.
And now it was it's definitely the first sort of 6 months. I needed it to work properly. Now I've adapted a little bit. I think my brain's developed. I've got better at the skills of doing the shit that I'm not good at. So I don't need to have my medication all the time.
Yeah, I feel that.
So yeah, you just learn. And I think for me, I just accepted it. It's like whatever. I think it's a fucking huge strength to me.
Yeah, same.
And that was the one thing that I do when I am medicated. I feel like I'm less of myself.
Yeah,
like it pulls me back in a little bit, which is probably better for other people.
Yeah. I find when I first had my Dexies, it was like, I don't know if this is how you're meant to normally feel. Like I got shit done. I'm like, oh, is this just what it's like to be able to do stuff?
Yeah.
Because when I wouldn't, I'd open up a tab. I'd do 5 minutes on email, 5 minutes on my website, 5 minutes on my jokes. Then I get up and I need to clean my room. Then I fucking go, I better make something. And go, and then when I had my Dexies, I was like, oh, okay, so this is what it's like to be able to just do something.
Well, Psych always said is like when you have it, it's like you need glasses, you can't read or whatever, and you're putting them on, you're like, fuck, this is what it's meant to be like. It's true. Like I remember, like if I don't have it for a couple of days, then I'll have them. Like today I've had them, and I'll be driving, and I'm like, fuck, I needed to do that. And then I'm like talking to Siri, making notes because
hey Siri,
if I don't, it's gone. And like it's simple. It's small shit, but it's also big shit. Like I'll forget that it's my wedding anniversary, but it's not because I'm forgetting about it. It's like there's thousands of things.
I think that's pretty standard, isn't it?
No, we're just going to clip that up. You can show the wife.
I said that on purpose, so please do that.
Yeah, that's so funny. I've got so many. Hey Siri, remind me when I get home.
Yeah.
Exactly. I fucked up, man. I had next year. Karatha's got a Red Dirt Festival, and I was supposed to send my pricing and my wager in for it. And I was driving. I'm like, fuck, it's Thursday. Remind me when I get home. And I emailed him and I said, we've already sent it off. I'm like, fuck. It's a potential like $5,000 or $6,000 job gone begging. You know?
I ask and this is so unprofessional, but I always ask my clients, text me later to remind me. So fucked.
Yeah. That's a good hack though.
Yeah. They do. They're all fine. I'll be like, I'm so busy. I've got so many things going on. Just text me when. Yeah, later on just to remind me and I'll get it done. But allegedly, when I've had Dexies in the past, undiagnosed, I've felt completely normal. So I'm assuming that's probably because they're made for me and I'm just undiagnosed.
Or you love speed.
No, well, when I'm on your level ones, I mean, when I've allegedly had your level that you're on, they fuck me up. So I clearly am not.
Yeah, mine are pretty fucking hectic. It's... D70, well, it's 14 of the D5s that you normally have in one, but in a slow release, so you just get it all day.
Yeah.
And like the first few times you have that, it's like, whoa, what the fuck is happening? But then you adapt so quickly.
Yeah. I did learn an interesting fact off you. How many finals have you played?
Well, we figured it out. I think it was like 13 or 14. It was one more than Freo.
Yeah.
one less than Freo's.
One less than Freo's entire club, yeah.
That's so good.
And fucking more than Gold Coast have played.
Shitload more than that.
So,
yeah.
That's pretty awesome. So you're part of a successful team. Talk us about the grand final, man. Like all the footy heads, we've had Shep's version of it from the sidelines, finding out about his sister's partner that passed away. Did you know about that?
I think we did, but
it was completely under wraps.
Yeah, it was till probably after.
Yeah.
Because I don't remember it that week, but there's so much going on grand final week. You kind of, and 15 we fucked around too much, and you're trying to organise flights for 50,000 people, and we forgot we had to play a game. And you could see the result. Yeah. Whereas 18, the club handled a lot, and I turned my phone off pretty much. I think most boys did. Yeah. Even if in the grand final parade, if you see the footage from 2015 to the difference to 2018, everyone in 15's taking selfies and fucking around and carrying on. Hawthorn were like business, and then we were like that in 18.
So Hawthorn, I think it was
about the sunglasses.
Yeah. Did you hear that about the sunglasses?
Yeah. So I think that's a Sammy Mitchell thing.
Yeah.
So he kind of said that when we made the granny in 18. He was like, because he was coaching us. You don't win the grand final on grand final day, but you can on the parade day, but you can lose it. Yeah. And because he'd played in the 15, everyone that played in that was like, I get that.
Gotcha.
Big time. So it was a lot more chill on in 18, and I reckon we said it was so team focused back like in 18. It was just like, just do your job. I reckon we said do your job probably 4,000 times that week. It was just great because we got like that start of that game, we're down by 5 goals or what it was. But I didn't feel like that. Everyone's like, chill, just do your job, boys. It's going to come, and what happened.
Yeah, that's so nuts, man. So for people that don't know what we're talking about, it was having your sunglasses on at the grand final parade was a sign that you weren't going to win because you didn't want to be there. You were hiding yourself.
You're not looking at the
opposition in the eye, the fans in the eye,
and giving them the time that they deserve because they've put in the effort to come and see you. Yeah,
and Sam Mitchell was saying he looked at the West Coast boys and everyone had their sunnies on.
It was all too cool for school sort of idea, I guess.
Yeah, it's old school as fuck. But
whatever.
But then I did see that photo of Papley in the granny with his sunnies on taking a fucking stupid photo. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, save that for after you win. But
yeah.
So your memories of the game, because, I mean, a lot of it will be washed away by piss. And other stuff. I was at the game watching. It was fucking awesome as a West Coast supporter. I'm not a full nuffy though. Like that's the one time I wore my West Coast stuff.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't wear
No, I'm the same. Yeah.
Why would I be like if I'm not in the team? I'm not gonna wear. I wore it as a school teacher. I wear it because it was like it had a collar.
Yeah.
And I fucking didn't dress like a school teacher. So I'd have a West Coast polo because it had a collar. I'm like, all right, cool. I can be kind of cool with the kids. But that's the one time I watched it and I'm like, oh my God, this is the worst worst waste of money of my whole life. It's the first quarter gone.
And knowing you, how like
I had 500.
I'm not going to say
on West Coast.
I'm not going to say negative. I'll say pessimistic.
Oh.
I would not want to play with Delby on my team because 5 goals down, he'd be like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Like,
go on home.
No, I'm actually super positive as a team player.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
like, all right, lads, let's do it. But it's when I've got a bet on.
Yes,
Oh my God, it's fucking cooked, man.
when he's got a bet on.
Witness that.
Yeah.
When he's got a bet on, he'll like you actually.
Masto was with me for grand final and I knew all my bets.
Here's a qualm for you for the fucking waffle one. You text me. I was on the bench for the West Perth grand final, and Claremont were coming hard, and I'm fucking shitting it. Like, I got the footy manager next to me, like he's going off, and then Delby texts me, game over. Like, Claremont are coming, heartbreak for West Perth coming, and I text him back, fuck you. That's all I text back.
Well, I saw they were 4 goals down, and when they kicked 2, I'm like, yous are going to fucking get steamrolled here. And then he goes, don't do that. I was like, oh, sorry, man, you might have a chance. And then they came back and won.
Yeah. Oh,
sorry,
that's what
go
Claremont
back
do.
to the
They're
question
pretty
was
good
like,
like
for yourself,
just cut
bro.
you off there. I had something quite similar. The grand final that was here in Perth.
Melbourne.
Bulldogs. We were sitting in I had 2 tickets, and I was with the owner of the Pika Bar, who's a fucking legend.
Yeah.
And we were full of piss, and we're sitting in the Melbourne player is how we got the tickets. So we're sitting with the Melbourne families and friends. Like, whole stands Melbourne. We're going for Bulldogs. Yeah. And at halftime, the Bulldogs were looking fucking good.
Yeah.
And we've just turned around, like, clapping and like, go home, guys. The game is fucking done. You were all cooked.
I agreed as well. I thought it was like, yeah, there they are.
It was friendly banter, but it was like, we're going pretty hard as well.
Yeah.
And then that whole second half, we just sat there. We sat the whole game, just getting shit thrown at us. Like, fucking quite funny. They were good sports about it.
And it's not like you can hide because everyone knows who you are. Like, they go, that's fucking nice. Fuck you, Master.
As soon as, in that game, as soon as Gawn was sort of rough handled by, I feel like Caleb Daniel or someone like that, it's just not needed. They were already on top of them in the third quarter. They were coming hard. And he just did a bit of like a push and shove, like he didn't need to do it. And I turned to one of my mates, Luke Ted, who I was watching with, and I was like, that's it, game over. You can't. It happened with Richmond and Adelaide as well. They started getting all spooky, like, because they were going well in that first quarter, and then Richmond went, fuck you. Like, don't fucking chirp at us, cunt. And then bang.
Yeah, well, Caleb Daniel and Max Gorman, that's reminiscent of Morton on Lade when he just turned and gave it legs. On Mitch's brother, Kale Morton, I think it was.
He's a pisser.
But yeah, sorry, man. We fully digressed.
I don't know where we went there. That's pretty...
Your memories of the first losing grand final, something you told me was, so you lost to Hawks. You got the cup handed to you by who in the 2018?
Wasn't Brian Lake. Josh Gibson.
Josh Gibson. So Josh Gibson's part of who's beat the Eagles.
Yeah.
And they decide to present the cup.
Well, when they walked the cup out at the start of the game, it was... I'll never forget that. I don't know why, but he fucking walked it out. And I was like, why would they... It's typical Melbourne fucking VFL. Put him out. I was like, fuck this guy.
Yeah. Pick Josh Gibson, who defeated the Eagles in 2015 to bring the cup out pre-game.
At the start of the game.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
So
that is fucking hectic.
That's something you said stood out. So, your memories of... We won't talk about the losing one.
Yeah, I don't remember one thing from the losing one anyway.
Yeah. So
do you remember much from the winning one? Like, it would be all a blur.
I remember being... I didn't come off the ground the whole game.
Yeah.
And I've never been... I think it was Tom Phillips on the wing, and I remember the start of the last, and we were hunched over, and we kind of looked at each other, and we had this fucking respect. It was like this respect without saying a word, like that the most respectful look that I've ever had with a person.
Yeah.
Like, we're fucked.
Yeah, he's a great runner as well, right?
We were just like, because we were both doing the sort of the same thing, up and down and away from the ball. I was cooked. I've never been more cooked in my life. That's pretty much the only thing I do remember.
And it's already it's only 3/4 time.
Yeah.
Fuck. And you didn't come off 100% game time.
Yeah. 100% game time.
Pretty sure.
100. What the fuck?
In a grand final as well.
Yeah, it was a solid day.
And that's time on game. So that's what, like 35, 37 minute quarters. Like, that's a fucking lot. That's a lot of.
Yeah, I've never been more fucked, quite honestly.
Yeah.
I got a shot. my first contested mark of my career, probably in the last quarter, about 25 out from goal, and I literally was scared about making the distance because I was like, I can't.
Your leg.
Kick. Yeah, just rooted.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Because I find that kind of a nice wrap up of from where you said you'd started in year 7 to forcing yourself to brutally run until you vomited. It's all built up to that moment, man.
Pretty much.
Because you've forced yourself to run nonstop, and then that's the moment that defines you.
Yeah, it's weird. Don't think about it like that, but now you do, and just give me a little bit of goosebumps. I don't never think about the game like ever. I've never watched it. I've got my medal out a couple of times, put on my little fella. But that's you know, you don't just get on with life.
You haven't watched it?
Nah.
Fuck.
I've watched
you've got to watch it.
Some highlights and shit.
Yeah.
I'll probably watch it with Texie, like the full game.
Yeah.
When he just wants to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, it's been done. It's wicked to have there. Like, thank fuck, like, I played my career and you played 12, 13 years and didn't get one. It'd be pretty tough pill to swallow.
Yeah.
For me, but I'm pretty content.
Speaking of tough pills to swallow, you finished the grand final with a ball.
Yeah.
The actual football.
You're the one, and that's the first one you see. You running along and
Jack Redden, fucking typical Reddo, just trying to get one more stat out.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Completely unnecessary. Just handballed one up the chimney, and you just jumped on it, and the siren went. I was like, And then all I wanted to do was get to Gov.
Yeah.
Because like I kicked with Gov, we sit on the bus together. Like, that's my boy, and he was fucked before the game. Like, he shouldn't have played any game, and then he did what he did.
Yeah.
And I sort of got up and tried to. Saw Sheeta was right there, give him a quick hug and pushed him away. Good job, mate. I'm getting the car.
Yeah, good kick. Move on.
And like, you scream and you don't know what you're doing, but that was just like, I don't know. Don't remember why. I just was going to Gov and I was sprinting across this gap and I've got like halfway across it and Yoey's like spear tackling. It's like, I love Yoey and I'm like, fuck off, Yoey. Like, there's a photo of me like
you're fending your teammate.
I'm like, there's a photo of me like pushing him off me like, I'm gonna get to Gov.
That's sick.
Yeah, so that, I don't know, it's just pure adrenaline, It's fucking psycho moment.
Yeah, that's sick. And what was the celebrations like?
It was all right. Like the party was probably better when we lost.
Really?
You go because you got to.
Is that because you wanted to remember more of it, or be
probably and you had your family around and like you weren't commiserating, you know.
Yeah,
you have a ball straight after, and we'd done one when we lost. And we did one when we win, and that was
a ball straight after.
Straight after,
as in like
dinner.
Oh yeah,
dinner. Crowd ballrooms and like fucking hell. And it was really wholesome. And then we went to you do that for a few hours, and then you got an after party. I don't remember where it was. It was all right. Then my missus had just given. Well, Tex was probably about 6 months old, but it was about 3 a.m, and she's like, I'm going home. You're coming. We're going home.
Come on, man. You just
like,
want to flag your whole life.
Not, she was adamant though, because I had to be on a flight at like 8 a.m.
Yeah.
And we had the flight a couple hours, or maybe an hour after. So I was like, okay, I'll take you home. Chucked her in the taxi and took her home. And then when we came back downstairs, so all the boys were at the club.
Yeah.
Except Bunga, Shannon Hearn is sitting with like Trevor Nisbet and all like the board in the hotel just having a quiet beer. Like. So I went and fucking...
Like by purpose? Or
that was like what
choice?
He wanted to do. Yeah,
nice.
All right, Shannon. Like. So I went and sat on Nizzy's lap because, you know, Nizzy's a tough man and I fucking love him. So went and sat on his lap for a while. He talked shit to me and had a quiet beer and then went back and saw the boys.
Yeah. Nice.
Rolled in at about 7. I think I remember JK and walking out with JK from whatever nightclub we were in at like 7 a.m, and there was like a 150-meter line of punters trying to get in.
Yeah.
And the roar when we walked out of the nightclub was like louder than when we're at the ground.
That's amazing.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I messaged Hutch. I was going to come and join you, but when he said where you were, I was like, "There's no fucking chance I'm getting in there."
It was mayhem, man. It was shit going on everywhere. You couldn't really move. Like pre-COVID, obviously, like you'd be like sick if you saw it now. It's pretty gross, but it was fun.
But yeah, fucking oath. The worst thing I found was in Melbourne. After that, they wouldn't let us in with Eagles stuff on. Wherever every club we went to, they're like, no footy colours. I'm like, this is the home of fucking football. They're like, nah.
Victorians.
I don't know if it's just because it was West Coast stuff.
Yeah, maybe.
100%.
Yeah, they're like, no fucking... But that brings us to fake news and stories that you've heard about yourself. So My own one was I saw you allegedly at Leedy on a Wednesday when you just got drafted. Might have been 17, maybe not. I don't know. Was that you or was that fake news?
No, it was probably fake.
Yeah.
You're a little bit of a rat bag, but I don't know. I wasn't the greatest, like the poster boy of professionalism, but also I worked my fucking ass off when I had to. So I think that's the kind of makeup that I have. Is what's the point in working hard at anything if you're not going to?
Man, fuck the robots. Like there needs to be a shift in AFL circles where it's just like they're fucking 18-year-old kids, man.
Yeah.
Until they turn 24 or 25, give them fucking free rope. Let them go out and be a fucking person.
100%.
Because there's no gap between leaving school and becoming an adult, and you don't have any opportunity to fail and learn and grow as a man. If they're like, you have to eat this, be here at this time, go to bed at this time, like you're not an adult.
Well, within reason though as well. Like I got arrested on Australia Day.
Oh, did you?
3 months after I got drafted.
Did you?
Jesus.
So like you don't have to be a fuckwit like that.
Yeah. What happened there?
It was Australia Day. Remember we used to go down the force?
Fucking oath.
Yeah.
It was like the best day of the year.
Yeah.
And got
Rigs out.
Got in the blue.
Yeah.
Of course he did.
What for? Just dumb shit?
Oh,
it was probably with me, man. I fucking used to have fights all the time down there.
It was dumb shit. It was with my missus, and I think someone fell on my tan, and I told him not to fall on it again. He fell on it again on purpose. So you're just a dick. But anyway, so you don't have to be a dickhead, and I probably. It took me a while to find the line. You know?
Yeah, intense.
But I think that, as you said, you're a child. Like you're not a man. Like I was probably a late bloomer even when it comes to that. Like, I wasn't a man until probably I didn't mature until I was probably 25 even. You know? So I think we need to give these kids a rest.
I don't think many people really do mature. Like I'm fucking 35 and I'm still a dumb cunt.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying.
The Grim Reapers are still doing prank calls around.
Actually, just quickly on that, if they're listening, mate, you guys leave that bloke alone.
Boys,
I can't
had to
listen
fast
anymore.
forward it. I couldn't listen.
I can't listen to it anymore. I feel so bad for the bloke.
Yeah.
They keep pranking this bloke. It's no good. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's interesting. I mean, my own experience, I was 21 when I got arrested for fighting. And that was the moment where I'm like, I could have just turned around and walked away.
Yeah.
Like I could have walked away and I almost cost myself my whole 4 years of uni and teaching degree with one dumb decision. Yeah. But talk shit, he get hit, can't. And something that came up at the grand final thing, you spent your 16th birthday, you slept at Metros?
Yeah.
Metro, what, Freo?
Freo.
Yeah, Metros Freo. It was back in the day, like I'm a Willow boy, like we grew up the skate park. We had heaps of fun. We were all good lads, and they're all still good mates now. But we all had fake IDs from a very young age, pretty much. It was before all this thumbprint and face.
I fucking hated that.
Yeah. And we had like 1 or 2 fake IDs that would get like 20 of us in.
Just photocopy.
Well, no, you'd go in, walk to the top, like the balcony, throw it off to Hungry Jack's. The boys would find it. Next person.
Fuck, that's so.
So I had my 16th birthday
that's
party.
That's incredible.
That's great.
And then have a little kip there at the end.
Imagine being the door person. It's like, I swear I've
seen this guy.
Yeah.
Capricorn.
James Smith.
But they didn't give a fuck back in the day. It was like, whatever, I'll go in.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was no accountability or.
Yeah.
It weren't really held accountable. They were like, oh, fuck, they showed me an ID.
Yeah.
I didn't
Exactly.
know.
Done.
Yeah.
Ticket, Scan Tech fucked everything.
Yeah.
Because then you got banned from everywhere if you did something
Fun police, they come in.
Yeah,
so
legit.
Police poor kids these days, they can't get away with fucking anything.
Yeah, I know.
Cameras everywhere, and they get, like you're saying, get banned from every club.
What's a scan thing?
Scan Tech is the box.
I literally
you give them.
Is it?
Yeah.
They got your details in your face, and like if you get banned at one joint,
fuck.
So you either needed to know someone.
It's probably fair enough because there is a few fuckers that go out.
For sure.
I hope my Uber rating isn't part of that because I would not be getting in anywhere.
What's your Uber rating at? Do you use Uber?
I'm not on Uber.
You're not?
Uber Eats gets a fair workout.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I think I possibly did get kicked off Uber because I can't get it to work, so I'm on all the other ones, and all that shit. And that gets a fair workout too, to be honest. Yeah. But there's another one. There's Anna's Skippers Club, which is a fucking pisser because if when you don't know you're going to get drunk.
Yeah.
And you drive your car and you call Anna up and she comes in another car and drives you home in your own car.
Yeah.
So you don't have to go get
That's called. Is it called Skippers or is it called Anna's Skippers Club?
I'm pretty sure it's Anna's. Or maybe I just call it Anna's Skippers Club because it's Anna.
Yeah.
Skippers Club.
And it's like you pay that for the year, right? You get like a $300 for the year, and
like
they come and pick you up anytime.
Yeah, and like even after that, it's only like 10-15% more than a taxi. It's like it's a no-brainer for me.
Yeah, yeah. Did you know about the service?
No.
So yeah, if you drive somewhere, and instead of calling an Uber and your car's there and you want to get drunk.
Yeah,
you can do it safely, and they'll come and get your car and bring you home.
Oh,
yeah. So your car's not. So the next morning you're not like, oh, I got to drive to fucking Rivervale.
So what's it called? Anna.
Skippers Club. I think it's called Skippers Club.
Oh, what was Anna? Anna was
Anna is his driver. So yeah, my mate Brownie, Dean Brown, used to drive for him.
Fuck.
Yeah.
All right.
So listeners out there, be safe and get on board. Use the code Masto. We should get them on as a sponsor.
Yeah.
So, but you said your missus at the time, was that the same one that you have a kid with now and got married? So that's before you got drafted?
Yeah.
Fuck, man, that's insane. So she actually likes you.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the fact you're an AFL player, which is...
She I don't know, she probably hate me for telling this, but fuck it. We met when we were like 14 at Cottesloe Beach, strange numbers, and then...
Did you go up to her when you were like...
No,
hey?
she was fucking going. She knew what she wanted.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I remember I was wearing the white Arnett sunnies. I was, caught the train down.
Yeah.
But yeah, she called me that night and told me she loved me. She got pissed. And I was like, that's weird. Didn't speak to her for a year or two. And then,
oh my God.
You didn't speak to her?
Yeah, I was like, that's strange.
What, so she's called you, I love you.
Yeah, she's like, I love you. Like, okay, that's... weird. Catch you in a couple of years.
How did you
we went to I was at Corpus Christi, like near Garden City. She was at Applecross, and we just like kind of the same groups. And then
kind of the same groups. I reckon she made sure she was in those groups after she seen you. And like, oh, what are you doing here?
she's a pisser though. She hung around. She's a good girl.
That's pretty cool. Do you ever see teammates with girls that you know are just with them for the clout and because they're footy players, or most?
I don't know why anyone would want to be a football player. To be honest, like, it's not a glamorous lifestyle. Like you got to be a bit of a selfish cunt.
100%.
You're away a lot, and a lot of the time these kids, especially, are pretty arrogant. Like, it's not the most attractive part, but. I don't reckon I've seen. You don't see too many. I reckon we had a pretty good bunch at West Coast.
Well, just the requirements, like to where you have to go and the times that you have to put in. Like I interviewed for West Coast for their videography job, and they were telling me what was required and what I couldn't do. I couldn't do this. Yeah, the podcast wasn't allowed to do stand-up comedy. And basically no weekends. You're on call whenever. And I was like, I've got a kid, man. I'm a single dad. Like I need my second weekend with my daughter. Like, no way. So I just
probably get paid fuck all as well. But you get to work for West Coast.
I think that was the thing that they were asking what you thought the salary would be, and I put in a pretty conservative one. And I was like, fuck, I should have gone a bit higher because they were pretty quick to email me back.
They've got the most members.
Yeah, but that role seems to go. I don't know. You were there, so the videography role seems to be pretty. The main turnover. Whoever the main guy is, he seems to have been there for like 10, 15 years. I can't remember his name. Yeah. But the actual videographer role, I see it come up on. I see it come up on Seek like every year. Like we need a new videographer.
Well, they've got that whole like $1 million setup, like so they're like never stop all year round. They're doing shit, which is cool because you need it. Like I mean, this day and age, you got to connect with people, however the fuck it is. But they take that job pretty seriously. But I've seen a few videographers.
The facility there. I did a tour through it the other day. We took the Yilgarn country kids that we have through West Perth Footy Club through the facility and tour. It's fucking amazing. Like the hangar is so good, and the gym, like some of those machines you guys have got there for fucking just for running on, and you're like,
it's crazy, Jim.
Mate, it's 150 grand plus for some of these machines.
Well, you should have seen Subiaco. That was the biggest piece of shit of all time.
Really? Was it?
Oh yeah. I think we only got in that hangar in 2018 or maybe 2019 even.
Yeah,
I was
right.
still at Subi in 2018, and it was like the biggest piece of shit. Well, the gym wasn't much bigger than this room.
Jeez.
And like, we had good equipment, but it was like cramped. You had to do like 3 or 4 different groups to fit in the gym.
Yeah,
like,
wow. That doesn't seem like a professional.
No, well, and we also did Freo's facility, and they're probably the 2 newest facilities in the NFL, and they're fucking incredible, just elite. But speaking of current West Coast Eagles, you sort of snuck back in somehow, being a runner.
that was a weird one.
How did that sort of all unfold?
Chris Masten and running, what?
You're doing exactly what you hate.
Footy manager Gavin Bell, then Simo hit us up about, I know, mid-year. They're obviously struggling a fair bit. And
what, to play probably? Looking for an extra player.
Yeah. Well, I just think that they were pretty flat. Like, I've been in that club when, like, even when you're pretty good and you lose, it's a pretty bad place to be. And it's also the best environment, though, because, like, second is first last. Like, demand success. But when you're losing by as much as they were as well, pretty grim in those walls. So I think they just wanted a bit of spike of energy and someone to come and talk, like, especially for the older boys who've been around for a bit. And it gets hard those years. So I just got in and talk shit pretty much.
Nice.
That's awesome.
How good's that for a role? Just come in, run and talk some shit.
And Gavin Bell, like, he's an absolute legend.
Weapon,
he's turned into the, he's taken that role. There he went from the runner. Like, is that something maybe you can do? Like, he's gone from the development coach to the on-field runner to he's running the whole fucking football club now, and he's a legend. I know him pretty well, and hopefully he's going to help us get some current players on the podcast.
What's wrong with past players?
Nothing's wrong with past players.
Past players can talk more freely.
Well, that's exactly right, actually. But he's an absolute legend. His story's incredible as it is, but he would have a great understanding of what it requires to have such a good team vibe around the footy club.
We came to the footy club at the same time. He started the development year the year he got drafted, so we've got a really, really close relationship. I love Belly, so I think he probably would have been pushing pretty hard to get me in anyway, I assume, because we had a good relationship.
What did you want to do when you were a kid? Did you always want to play footy? And then what was it like having to retire? Because I didn't decide to retire, right?
No, I didn't retire. So, like, I didn't really think too far forward other than playing footy, really. Like, when do you think about what you want to fucking do anyway?
Fuck knows.
I kind of wanted to be a jeweler. I won the jewelry award at
like in metalwork and shit?
Just doing shit. But and then it was pretty much footy, sole focus footy.
That's so funny. You win one award and you're like, I'm going to do this forever.
Yeah. I got the jewellery award. One of my uncles is a jeweler, and he's done pretty much. I reckon he's probably done over 20 of the West Coast Eagles engagement rings and wedding rings.
Wow.
And he's a good fella. And so that's kind of where maybe if I didn't play footy, I was probably going to do something like that. I did do an apprenticeship, 2 years of an electrical, a year and a half before I got drafted with my old man.
Yeah.
But purely because I was like, I'm not fucking going to be an electrician. Dad used to pick me up at like 10 in the morning and I'd tell him I had to go to training, so he'd drop me off at like 2. I was working like 4 hours a day.
At least you were doing something.
But I was the only apprentice, so tell me if I'm wrong here. So it was a year and a half, so it was probably going into the second year, only apprentice.
Yep.
Therefore, I was the apprentice of the year.
That's true.
That's correct.
100%.
Everyone thinks I'm taking the piss, but it's not. I'm not. I was.
100%.
2 years running.
2 years running.
2 years running.
That's fucking cool, man. And if your uncle is a jeweler, give me his card because I'm a celebrant, so we can. If anyone's getting engaged.
So, but how did you get into like wine?
Wines, yeah.
Because like wine is obviously.
And also, sorry.
No. Well, wine's obviously a pretty fucking different.
It's probably just to
business.
deal with being delisted.
Yeah.
And the mental shift, because we got a bit of a mental health focus as well, like how to go from I'm a full-time AFL player to not anymore. How did you deal with that shift? Because that's a massive thing for players where they just go off the rails.
And I think do you want to sponsor the podcast?
Yeah.
I think they both kind of tie into each other, that piece. So, we're all... when you're at the West Coast, I think every club's the same now, but we were always pretty heavy on it. You had to do 1 day a week, either study or work.
Yeah.
And from probably the age of 21, 22, I was trying lots of shit out. I did a Cert 4 in fitness, advanced diploma in business management, which I don't know fucking one thing from. And then I was probably
You're just
20
lying down at the front of the class.
And then probably got to 24, 25, and I had a chat with Nizzy about something. I was really into my wine, massively into my wine. And then I started to think, well, him and Ian Miller, who was sort of like player, like he looked after the boys basically. And then I got into a meeting with Murray McHenry, who started West Coast, but he also has McHenry Hone, a really big winery.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to be a winemaker. Went and met him. We had a bit of a chat. Kind of got talked out of being a winemaker, but also
Why is that? Because it was.
It's fucking. I think now like it's a tough gig unless you've got a big vineyard or a winery. It's tough.
Super expensive.
Yeah, and also I couldn't do it because the school in Curtin Uni shut down.
Yeah,
so we would have had to go to Adelaide
to learn how to do it.
Yeah.
Wow.
To be a winemaker. So then I was like, next best thing. Murray was like, go see Scott Spalding, who's now my boss as well.
Yeah.
And he's into wine distribution, so we bring in wines from all around the world and all around Australia and WA, and then distribute them throughout throughout the state.
Yeah, that's cool. And that's something you really are into and love doing?
Like fucking love my wine, love people. I love trying to figure people out and fucking shit like that.
That's cool, man. So what was it about wine that like, was it just the taste or you like getting drunk or like?
It probably started off like the first trip I went away with the boys was Sam Butler's Bucks party, which was in, I must have been 19 or 20, which was in Barossa Valley.
Nice.
So I remember going to Rockford, which is like one of the oldest ones there, and being like, this is fucking sick, and I'm getting drunk. It's like the history and the like this old building and the architecture, and then the wine was delicious, and then I was getting drunk and was like, fuck yeah, and then session ADD, like, that's my thing. Built this cellar, drank heaps of fucking amazing wine.
Built a cellar?
Well, I've got an off-site cellar, but like bought a shit ton of wine, and so that was going to be my thing. And then met Scotty, and then he turns out like we grew up in the same area, played in the same junior footy club. He's like my dad now.
Yeah.
And yes, but back to sort of your question.
Yep.
Because I did that with, about 25, and then I was working in that until I retired on my 1 day a week. It was a really easy transition for me because I had something that I was super passionate about. Yeah. And a lot of these kids don't.
Yeah.
Now they're so focused on their footy and there's nothing else. You do worry a little bit about that because you have to be really good, but you need a balance because there is that lull. If you get cut before your time or before you think it's your time, it's fucking could be really and it was still really daunting for me, even though I knew what I was going to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, did I kind of answer?
Yeah. Well, because when Hutchie came on, that's what his business is now. He's this complete athlete Australia. It's helping develop young athletes to be prepared for every part of sport. So not just the sport, not just the training and the mental side of things, but the preparation for post sport and the heartbreaks and setbacks you're going to get during it. So
for sure.
It's a pretty good.
So clubs really need to have that 1 day a week where you're not at the club.
Yeah.
Go be a person. Experience something.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I vaguely remember like when I was sheet metal fab, a cabinet making place around the corner was that JK was doing an apprenticeship there from memory. I think he was doing cabinet making or something along those lines.
I don't know if he ended up finishing it but then he bought a bed business and fucking small other fucking businesses. But like they really active on it, but it's also kind of on the kid themselves to go and find some shit because you can just go and tick a box, which I did for a number of years. Just tick the box. Yeah. Or you can actively search for something you actually want to do. Yeah.
Both ways are probably fair because if you're ticking boxes, you might stumble across it.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the other way, which is what you did, just go on a bucks do and find your passion.
It's hard to figure out though because you go all in on something you enjoy and then you do it 24/7 and you're like, oh fuck, it's not that great. Like sometimes it's you got to try it before you.
Well, exactly right. So if what I'm doing now was I originally wanted to be a winemaker. Like I'm so much like I would never be a winemaker now. Like I see what the shit that I have to do. Like, and it's
tell us a bit. Teach us a little bit, man. I know fuck all about this.
I don't know anything about
to be a winemaker. What's involved?
Oh, mate, it's like a lot of at uni. It's a lot of science and shit like that, which I'm not great at. But
not going to go into it, but it's pretty scientific.
But then you're in the vineyard all day. If you're lucky enough to have your own vineyard, and that's you're a farmer basically. You're fucking farmer. And then come vintage time, the stress, the hours that you work, and then the amount of work that you put into for what profit you get out of is just like, it doesn't add up. Unless you've got a really, really big, massive volume or really high-end wine. It's really tough to make a buck.
What makes a quality wine compared to a shitty one? I know nothing about wines, bro, so I like people talking about what they're good at.
It's a big-ass question, but I think for me, everyone's different. I think what's in the glass is just so dependent from what's happened previously. So we've got a young winemaker we just signed called Valley de Venom, and his philosophy on what he does is kind of how I like to drink my wine. He's hands-on in every aspect. He literally picks the bunches by himself and only the best shit.
Right.
He cares about what's happening in the vineyard. It's all organically grown, and they slave away in the vineyard all year. And then just the softness and the lack of additives that he's adding. He's all wild ferment. He's unfining and filtering these wines, but he's making them safe on a chemical level because he knows the science behind it.
Yeah.
If that's kind of making sense. Because it's a living thing. So
please tell me he gets in the bucket with his feet and just squashes it with his feet.
I've got to do that a couple of times. It's hell fun doing it as well. I shouldn't say, like, I'm not saying like bagging winemakers at all, because I think they're fucking unbelievable. But I just don't. I couldn't do it. It's a fucking hard slog and a different slog. And you'd by yourself again a lot of the time.
Yeah.
I like fucking thrive
That's
on
so
people.
interesting. I thought you'd just employ a fuckload of like backpackers, go pick the wine.
Most people do. Yeah, for sure. But
like,
like
the quality would be his hand picking what's going in and
he's
what's
like
not.
literally down to the bunches, like as he's picking them, like, is that, he'll pick individual berries off every fucking thing. Like pretty much everything that ends up in the bottle, he's touched himself.
And how many...
but that's not sustainable either.
I was gonna say, what's the big... what's his... how many bottles is he making?
He's only doing 20 ton of grapes, so it's fucking tiny, but the quality is extreme, and he's starting to I've got lots of different ones, so I could talk different story about every one. But
well, if you don't mind, mate, because you've got haven't got heaps of time, we'll get you back on. Honestly, I would love to learn about it, bro.
Yeah, we should get him on, and we'll just cross to Gary V as well. That would be.
Oh yeah,
Gary V.
Gary V's wine. What was it? The Wine Times or something?
The wine guy.
The wine guy.
Wine guy. You know who Gary?
No.
Oh, bro, we're gonna rock your world.
Gary Vaynerchuk is fuck. You're in wine and you don't know who Gary V is. Fuck. Okay,
bro. He's like the number one motivator for entrepreneurs, but he started his millions or billions, probably, but millions, hundreds of millions.
Yeah.
He worked in a wine cellar, and he turned his dad's cellar into this super profitable business just by watching people's behavior and selling wine because he loved wine.
Yeah.
And what was his wine channel called? The Wine Guy?
I think it was the Wine Guy.
He did a little YouTube series. I was talking about wines.
Yeah, fucking I'm all over this dude.
So, he was, this is like back when YouTube wasn't even really a thing. Like it was just starting and they're so fucking basic. And he I like his idea of, he had these notes of what he was going to say, and like this wine he has to talk up because he's getting paid to push this one, and then he was like, fuck it, like 10 seconds in he's like, I'm not being me, and he was like, this wine's shit, this one's good, like whatever.
And because he loved it. You'll love this little rabbit hole, bro. But I'd love to hear, honestly, I'd love to hear fucking more. It's just we're wary of your time because it's nearly been an hour. I guess, was there anything else?
No, well, I was going to... the thing I was going to ask was, and I loved this moment, was when JK kicked that goal and you didn't have a message, but you definitely just ran straight on. What was going on there? Was you're pretty close with him, I guess?
Was his 700th goal? Was this
700th. He's a great, fucking great dude. And we got drafted together, which is another pretty fucking story. We're both East Frere boys.
Yeah.
Boom.
They made me go to the draft in Melbourne. I didn't want to go at all, but they forced me. So, but I was like, all right, but I want to be back. Like, I want to be I want to be on the next flight. As soon as that thing's done, I want to be home.
Yeah.
See my boys.
Did you know you were getting picked up by?
No idea that I was getting picked up by West Coast, but I was like,
so you're just like, I want to go home.
I'm going home as quick as I can to see my family, whatever.
Yeah.
So obviously you got to stay here, but big shit show, a few beers, ended up at Metro's Freo. The first person I see up in the back corner is JK, and we're like, like giving it everything we had.
That's great.
So there's a long history there with JK, but yeah, we knew it was his 700th, and I was on the bench, we're waiting for it, and Shuey's there. If there's any, I don't know if there probably isn't the footage, but if you see me and Shuey carrying on before I run on, it's pretty fucking funny as well.
Yeah, we'll try and find that and clip it up.
Now
That
I
would
just
be good.
went because you can go on after goal, so I just
That's awesome.
beeline for him, give him a quick hug and fucked off.
Because that's when you were getting pumped by Richmond, eh? Or was it
Nah,
Sydney?
it was Carlton.
Carlton.
Yeah, it was that Carlton game.
We were a sniff prior to the game. Everyone was like, "Oh, we got our team back."
I left early. I heard the roar, and then I looked on AFL, and I was like, because I didn't even realise he was going for the record.
Did you left?
Yeah.
So you missed it.
Yeah. I didn't even realise he was going for it.
This is the pessimism I talk about.
Well, I was going out. I had something
shit to do.
Yeah.
Shit
fair
to
enough.
do.
Did we have any fake stories that you heard about yourself? I don't think we actually got that.
Oh man, there's probably been thousands that I've forgotten about on purpose.
Sick. All right, well that's time, man. Thanks for your time, bro. Really
Did you have
appreciate
any?
it.
Just quickly, did you have any questions from any?
Yeah, I had, so listener questions.
Actually, no. You can take away my question that because I didn't end up tagging Masto. I ended up tagging Kobe Stevens.
Cobra.
In that game.
Who's the greatest waffle tagger you've ever played against?
I was going to say, yes, I'm here.
Doesn't even remember you, mate.
I wouldn't think anyone remembers a tagger. So.
Literally, this is a legitimate one from a chick. How big is his dick?
Not massive, but a good size portion.
Chris Masten, they call him. That's a pretty good way to finish.
Fuck, that's good. Hey, and then
do you have anything to plug? Yeah, any wine companies or anything down south, or any new people that come on board that you want to share?
I'm not going to muddy up this beautiful.
I do apologise to anyone who's been listening and specifically watching. I've been switching today because Jamal woke up late.
That's
motherfucker. All right. And so I've had to switch.
We'll have to dock him of his fee.
Yeah.
She's doing for free.
It's free. So if it doesn't look that great, that's why.
Yeah.
And if I sounded a bit
amazing,
off,
mate.
it's actually challenging.
It's
to
kinda-
concentrate and keeping a conversation.
I might actually need to do it with my hands.
Yeah,
just
do
fucking-
something.
Yeah.
Well, left and right, I was sitting there going, "Fuck, am I on? Oh shit, am I listening?"
When's this? Are we going to hold this until next week, or are we just going to release?
I might put it up on Monday instead, just because.
So, if
whenever it goes up.
If this is up before tonight, then come down to Side Splitter. I'm headlining Who's Rhyme at Side Splitter Festival. And then Monday, got a Star Wars quiz at Alford, if you like that. Planet Royale, 80s, 90s quiz. Wednesday's Paddy Malone's. And then by that time, we'll have another potty out.
Busy man.
Busy.
Did you say Planet Royale?
Yep. Quiz night. 80s and 90s quiz Tuesday night.
Cool. Yep. All right. I got nothing to plug. Cheers for coming on, Masso.
I'm busting for a piss. It's a great time.
Go.
Run. Cheers.